Man, I don't know why it keeps dropping. It's been one of those annoying nights where it just keeps dropping for no good reason. Very frustrating. It'd be nice if it would just stay up. A second. Jump back into it. So that's 7. Not where I want it to be, but it's what it is. I'm just gonna keep on pushing. It's nice and cold. This morning it was like 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice and freezing outside. I felt bad because I was taking my kids to school. I just didn't think about how cold it was. So we were they were riding their scooters and their little hands got like icy. And just didn't think about it. You know. But hopefully, or not hopefully, I got some gloves out. So tomorrow should be better. A better day for them. Be a better father. Yeah, sometimes you don't think about it until it's too late, and then you feel bad when they're cold. That was 6. So far from where I want it to be, but I'll try one more set with the 40s and then drop down. It's funny, like though when I was a kid, my parents never gave us gloves to wear to school. Your hands just like got cold. But I think maybe they just didn't think about it. Plus, my dad grew up in Colorado, and my mom grew up in Oklahoma. both places where it snows and gets really cold. Versus we lived in California, so I think maybe they didn't think it was that cold, and I don't remember it being that bad as a kid. So maybe it's not that bad. The Dark Void 13 says, "What's going on, broski?" Oh man, just cranking out some bicep curls, having some fun. Oh. Very nice, very nice. Love the Spider-Man posters. Thanks, man. I got really lucky. I found them super cheap. I think the big one cost me like 20 bucks. The other ones cost me like 10 bucks. So I saw that and I was like, oh, I definitely got to get that one. If you go to like, we have like a Ross store called Ross where I live, and they just have like cheap art, and I just never realized it because I never looked at it. And one day I did, I was like, oh. And then it's like you can't go back because there's even more stuff you want to buy, but you have to try and be reasonable about how much art you buy to put up. But it's fun. You a big Spider-Man fan? Dark Boy says those stores are too good. Yeah, man, I just never really went into them, or I never looked at their decor. And like at Halloween is like the first time I really was like looking, because my kids love like Halloween decorations, and they saw them. I was like, yeah, we'll go take a look. And they had so much cool stuff for cheap. Like I had this really cool headless horseman sculpture for like 30 bucks. That looks like awesome. You love Spider-Man? It's cool, man. Do you have a favorite series of Spider-Man at all? Like what Spider-Man did you grow up with? I grew up in the 90s, so I pretty much was reading like 80s. Well, I grew up in mid 80s to the 90s was what I grew up with Spider-Man. So like the Amazing Spider-Man and that whole series. I do like the 90s cartoon is the best one. The 90s cartoon, yeah, that was a good one. I like the whole 90s style of comics. The late 80s and 90s. But it could just be nostalgia. They just watched an episode today. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm I think one of my favorite parts from that one, if I'm remembering right, is when they dipped into the whole side where Spider-Man keeps mutating into a full spider and he has to get the cure. So the one with the kid that's terminally ill, but Spider-Man takes her on an adventure and shows her shows her who he is before she passes. Yeah, that tugs at the heartstrings there, man. That's Sure, that's a good episode too. Yeah, the one. Yes, that one is a good one. It's weird, man, when cartoons get like super deep. But Spider-Man kind of always had that element to it. Like he definitely had the emotional side of things, which they said is one of the things that made his character so liked by so many people for so many generations. Is he had a more human element to his story, like the awkward teen phase, the nerdy side, like overcoming being weak. Those were a lot of like elements that people really appreciate about his story. Spider-Man was built to be relatable, which is why it's the most popular hero. Yes. I was a huge fan of Daredevil too. I liked Daredevil a lot. And then as a hero, my favorite was always Superman. But I feel like as much as I like Superman, it's hard to write good comic books for him because he's so super powered. So they always have to go to the obvious gimmick of kryptonite or hostage. Someone's taking his family hostage or something. But the reason I like Superman the most is he has like the most pure intentions for helping people. Like, he doesn't have to help anybody, but he does because it's just who he is. He wants to save people. He's not like Batman. There's no deep scarring or revenge kick. It's just what he does. And I like that about him. And of course, always been a huge fan of Wolverine. Sharp Horses, yeah, I wish there was a new race he had to fight that makes him bleed, so to speak. Yeah. There's one comic book I never read, but I've heard of and I've read like the backstories for, but this is a good one where he fights Muhammad Ali. They have to compete um, to see who is Earth's like greatest champion. So they fight, and Superman's got to box him without his powers, and Muhammad Ali wins. But yeah, you should check it out, man. It's a good one. Um, I haven't, like I said, I've never read it. I just know that it's there. But I think it's pretty cool that they let Superman or had Superman lose to Ali. And Dark Boy says, no way that happened. That's hilarious. Yeah, a crazier one is in the early days of Superman, it was a radio program, and there was the KKK was a growing organization and a lot of people were getting super into it. And there was a guy that was investigating it that wanted to show that it was bad. So then he went to the guys that were writing the Superman radio show, and they did a series called like Superman versus like the Blazing Cross or something, and they used it to show the Fiery Cross, and used to show how bad the KKK were, and try and stem public opinion using Superman against it. That's a series of Superman that people don't all know. Superman versus the KKK. That happened. And there've been a lot of different times where comics have been used to try and reach out. There was like a whole series where Harry Osborn is struggling with, I think, heroin addiction. So Spider-Man and all their friends are trying to keep Harry Osborn clean. And the whole like just say no to drugs. What's the vest I'm wearing? This is the weighted vest. So it's 20 pounds of weight. It's got the plate in the front and the plate in the back. I'm planning on doing a Murph challenge on Memorial Day. So you have to wear the 20-pound vest when you do the challenge. It's running a mile with the vest. You do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and another mile run, all while wearing a 20-pound vest. So when I can, when I'm working out, I'm just having it on so I get used to the weight. So over time, hopefully, I'll just not really pay attention to the fact it's there. That's going to be quite the challenge because I can't do 100 pull-ups with or without the vest. So I have till May 26th to get it in gear. Dark Boy says, we're going to head out, but good luck with that, man. Hope you have a great rest of your workout. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's fun. Thanks for stopping by. I like your name, by the way. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, thank you. Stop by anytime if you want to talk about comic books and any various subjects. I like having a good conversation about superheroes. It's always a pleasure. But I will talk about most anything. Pepper says, no problem. Thanks, man. We'll do. Likewise, man. Hope to see you around. Me too. I'll be here. I'll leave for the thumbs up. I got like 2 more sets in me. And I gotta skedaddle. Thank you again. Appreciate the encouragement. All right, here we go. Last set. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for coming by. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out for this quick one. Hope you all have a good night, good day. You may be further along in the timeline than me. God bless you. Thank you so much.